Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, I don't hear you very well. Let's try it again. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's so good to see you all. Welcome to Temple Akiba's Shabbat morning service. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, and we're here with Cantor Lonnie Freilich, but most importantly, we're here with Nate and the Josephson family, and it's so good to celebrate together. Yeah, right? Nate, I look at you and I can't sit here without thinking of your great-grandfather, Gabe, who would have been singing loudly and clearly, right? Making sure that we could all hear his harmonies and sometimes his disharmonies. It's just beautiful to celebrate Lador Vador, so many generations in your family. And I think with everything that your family has been through over this past year, to come together for a reason for joy, for nachas, for simcha. And so today is a day of celebration. So once again, my name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro, and we welcome you. We want to make sure, please come in everyone. We want to make sure that your cell phones are in the silent mode. And so just take a moment to check that they're turned off or at least silenced. And we'd also like to ask that you please keep those cameras in your pockets. We don't need anyone in the congregation taking photos. Those moments are going to be captured by professionals, and so we can just be in the moment and enjoy. Everyone should have received a prayer book on your way in, and we'll be using this as our liturgy. For those who are watching at home via Zoom, we're going to ask you to add to the liturgy, and perhaps you'll find moments that you want to share a special something for Nate. Share those, and during the service, Cantor and I will find moments to insert your good wishes into the service. So again, for those who are home via Zoom, we want to incorporate your words into the service. So say a little something, and at moments in the service, we will share them with Nate and the congregation who's here. Cantor, do you want to say something about the music?
I would love to. So Nate's going to be leading us through most of our service, but there's plenty of moments, whether Nate's leading or I'm leading, the rabbi's leading, for us to participate and to join in song and in prayer. And so we welcome you to join us, to participate, whether you know the words or not. Just sing la la la, but we want to hear your voices if you're at home or if you're here. The more we can participate, the more we're showing Nate our love.
We're going to begin with the singing of Hine, Matov. It's on page 70 of our prayer books, and it means how awesome and wonderful it is to be together as a community. Come on in, folks.
Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim, shevet achim אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
We turn now to page 72, page 72. And Nate, we're going to ask you and your parents, Matthew and Paula, to come forward for the presentation of the Talit. Now, if I understand correctly, this Talit comes from many different people in the family, many hands on this. Pam and Barry of blessed memory went with you over a year ago to pick it out. And then you and Bubby picked out the design for the bag, and then Bubby made the Talit bag. So there are many, many different people in the family whose love is spread over this. Again, everyone, we're on page 72.
As I wrap myself in the Talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Bless Adonai, O my soul, Adonai my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tivanu l'hitatef batzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
Hold on. That was right. Okay, now make sure it's on him right. Nate, your mom and I just had a little moment here as you were putting the Talit on. One of the things that we share with all of our students is that for the very first time, they're fulfilling a commandment as an adult, and that's the commandment of putting on your own Talit. And so there's choreography that goes into how to do it, and you guys did it perfectly. Because we have just done something for the first time, we offer a blessing of thanksgiving, the Shehechianu. It thanks God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to reach this sacred moment. We're on page 344.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
We continue on page 84. Every day we have an opportunity to harness love and miracles in the world. And our Siddur, our prayer book, gives us a head start. Nate will be offering these blessings in Hebrew, and our response is to say, or to sing actually, Amen. Again, we're on page 84.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tselem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oser Yisrael bigvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen.
We shared a few moments ago that those of you who are here via Zoom have the opportunity in the chat box to say a little something, to add your prayers and love and liturgy to that which is in the book. We want to share a couple of thoughts that have been shared so far so that you can hear from those who are out there. So from the Levinson family, Mazel Tov from Portugal. Wow.
Wow.
We had Israel last night, we had Portugal tonight. That's so cool. Cantor, what else
That's
do we have?
amazing. Rachel Pellet says, Mazel Tov, Nate.
And from Tina Orkin, Mazel Tov to the entire family. So keep on allowing those prayers and those words to come in, and we'll continue to share them through the service. We're going to continue in our printed liturgy on page 106 with the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikadal v'ikadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
Belma divrahute v'yamlik malchute v'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chadiv kol beit Yisrael bagala uvizman kariv v'yimaru.
Amen.
Yehei Shem Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Ulamaya Yibarach V'yishtabach V'napar V'haram V'naseh V'hadar V'haleh V'halal Shemei Dekudesha B'richu Le'olah Minko Birchat V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damiram Balma Vimaru. Amen.
Beautiful, beautiful, Nate. Our formal call to worship is the Baruch Hu. We're on page 108. We invite all who are able to please rise.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamevorah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Continuing on page 110 is our prayer of nature and the beauty of creation. It's called the Yotzer. And again, it's on page 110.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei chosech usei shalom uvarei et hakol hameir la'aretz v'ladrim alecha barachamim uvtuvo makadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit marabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chom ma asita mala ha'aretz kinyanecha Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shavach ma'aseh yadecha vel ma'orei or she'asita yefa'arucha selah or chadash al Tzion ta'ir v'niskei kulanu mecharei la'oro Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hamarot.
Amen. Continuing now with the watchword of our faith, the Shema Yisrael, we're on pages 114 and 115.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Please be seated, everyone, but not you. Nate will continue now with our prayer of love, the Via Haftarah, on page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nefashta u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinanta levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'ritecha uvlektecha v'derek uvshokbaha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha L'man tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzotai v'hiyatem kedoshim le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeati atem me'eretz Mitzrayim l'chiyot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
That's beautiful. Maybe we wanted to share a few more words that were coming in from around the country, actually. So we're going to begin with Mazel Tov from Martha and Ali from New York.
And we have from Paul Bloomstein, Mazel Tov to all from Virginia.
Ellen Hoffman says, Mazel Tov to Nate from Ellen and Neil. We're so proud of you, and we are pleased to celebrate with you.
From Janet and Tom Newton, Mazel Tov to the whole family from Tom and Janet Newton. Very happy to share this day with you.
Lisa Bental, Mazel Tov to Nate, where you're doing an amazing job. Love you.
From Jeremy and Leah Labrie, Nate, I'm so proud of you. So lots of O's.
From Kat Abraham, Mazel Tov to Nate, extremely excited for you. From Jacqueline and Lily, the family.
Mazel Tov Nate from Marshall, Danelle, and Joseph Nyman.
From Jason Altman, Mazel Tov Nate.
And from Sharon Schulman, Mazel Tov Nate, we are very excited and proud of you, Uncle Barry and Aunt Sharon.
Aww. And from Joanne Bronson and Art Wexler and Ricky, so good to have all these people here. Mazel Tov from Joanne, Art, and Ricky, Jared and Deborah, and your extended Akiba softball team. Are there any softball players from Akiba here? Right, we got a few of you in the congregation. Only 4 short years for you to join us, Nate.
And from Stephanie Schwartz, Mazel Tov Nate, I am so glad that I can be a part of your special day. Sending lots of love from Philly.
We miss you, Stephanie. One final one from Leslie Berman, Mazel Tov and Yasher Koach from Long Island. A lot of people from the old country of the East Coast here, so it's great. It's great to connect. So our next prayer is the Mikamoja. It's the prayer that recalls that we were once slaves in Egypt, but we marched forward to freedom, and that we have a responsibility in every generation to do the same, to make sure that our entire world has the opportunity for freedom. We're on page 122.
Mikamoja ba'elim Adonai Mikamoja nedar ba'kodesh nora tehilo osefele.
There you go. Beautiful, Nate. We are going to continue now with the central section of our prayer service, the tefillah. It's on page 124, and we're going to ask once again that all who are able, if you'll please rise.
Adonai, safatav tiftach ufiya gitahilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, v'Konei Hakol, v'Zoher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula v'nei v'nehem, Liman Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Mashiach u'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah, Rav lehoshia. Mechalkel Chaim behesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofech cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afa, Michamoja bal gevurot, Umidom elav, Melech Meimid, Umechaye, Umatmia Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol.
Page 130.
Oh, Nikadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Ki Hashem k'shmekdashim, O Tobi Shmei Maram, Kakatuv al Yad Neviyecha, V'kara ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Milol chol ka'aretz, Kevodo. Adir Adirenu Adonai Adonenu Ma'adir Shimcha B'chol ha'aretz, Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkamo. Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, v'hu Yashmienu, Brachamav le'enei kol chai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Yichzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nogid God Lecha, Ul Netzach Netzachim Kedusha Chanikdish, V'Shimcha Eloheinu Mipinu Lo Yamush Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Take a big sip. Go stand by your back. Bring over here. Bring water. We're going to now enter our own silent meditation space. We can use the pages in our prayer book as a guide between pages 132 to 142. Or else just take that moment to really look inside your heart and soul and to think deeply about who you are and where you want to be. When you're finished with your own private prayers, you may be seated. going to ask for anyone who is a youth of Temple Akiba, whether our religious school or our camp program or a graduate of these programs, or who has ever been in one of these programs, to come forward. Nate, you're going to be in the middle, and there's not much space, so you're going to have to, how do I put this the right way? You're going to have to carefully be in the same space. Leave your books there. Come on up. So a lot of you who are classmates, if you have one of those connections to Akiba, you're going to help us as we close our silent prayer. And face the congregation. Except for Nate and Ali and Riley and Toby. Stay up here.
You guys go.
So why do we ask for your brother and cousins to stay up here? Because they've got a very important job. We've come to Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah. And every Shabbat, we read this document that's thousands of years old, but we don't say, all right, this happened thousands of years ago, and that's what happened, and that's what we do. No, we look at it through the eyes of how our rabbis have looked at it throughout history, and even more importantly, how we look at it today. And so that is exactly what Nate's going to do. We're going to remove the Torah from the ark, and we're going to read the old words, and then Nate is going to have a chance in a little bit to share what his thoughts are on our portion, which is entitled Shoftim. And so we are on page 244, and Riley and Ali and Toby, if you will be so kind as to open the ark, we invite everyone to please rise.
In kamocha Elohim Adonai v'yin kemasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim L'memshaltecha b'chol dor v'hador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitain Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Av harachamim Eitiv avitzoncha et Zion Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad batachnu melech el v'nisa Adon olamim.
On the count of three, say Akiba. 1, 2, 3. Akiba! All right. Have a seat, folks. Thank you. Actually, Toby, you stay here. You're not going too far away. Oh, Cantor, let me get a seat.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah. Udevar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
We're now going to invite to come forward to stand kind of between where Nate and I are standing right now, the generations of the family, including great-grandpa Don, Ham Josephson, Nadine and Ira Schulman, and Paula and Matthew. Leave your books where they are and come on forward. And we're going to have the grandparents stand toward where I am, and Toby is going to be on the end, and everyone else is in the middle. Watch your steps. Lador vador, from generation to generation, our Torah has been passed down, beginning with a conversation between Moses and God at Mount Sinai. Nate, today, this comes into your hands. In a few years, it will be into your brother's hands. In a few months, into Riley's hands, because I think she's the next in the family. Don't hold it. It's a gift to share, and a gift to study, and a gift to give light to your soul. Lador vador, from generation to generation. Nagid God lecha.
Ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushat hanakdish, ledor vador, ledor vador. Come out a little bit. Ledor vador, nagid kol lecha. Ulenetzach netzachim.
Ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nahakdish.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai iti uneromema shemo yachdav.
Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Please be seated, everyone. Friends, we're going to call a number of people to offer an aliyah, a special honor, a blessing before and after the chanting of each section of Torah. When you come forward, you're going to stand at the podium near right where the cantor was, and we've got a sheet for you to offer the blessing from. And you'll be there during the blessing itself and then go back down once your blessing is over. So for our first aliyah, we call forward Nadine and Ira Schulman and Pamela Josephson, Ya'amdu Nechama Tzivia Bat Nachman the Kenya, the Yisrael ben Yaakov the Lori, the Pamela Bat Gabriel the Nadine. Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Before you begin, can you hold up this beautiful yad that your parents just presented to you? This is beautiful. What a great and appropriate gift for a bar mitzvah. May it point your way in the right direction. Let's just take the cellophane off the end. There we go. Okay.
Shofatim v'shoftarim titen leha b'chal she'oreha asher Adonai Elohecha noten la lishvatecha v'shavtu et hayam mishpat tzedek.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Natan B'tohenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Thank you so much, Yasher Koach. For our second aliyah, we invite forward Stephanie and Daniel Cutler and Jonathan Josephson and Katie Musicar. Ya'amdu Shmuel Meira Bar Yisrael ve'Nechama ve'Daniel Binyamin ben Nachum ve'Yochanan ve'Yosef Baruch ben Baruch Berel ve'Pamela ve'Katie Ann Bat Merlis ve'Carl.
Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Lo tateh mishpat, lo takir paneh, lo velo tika sohad, ki hashohad, ya'aver einei hachamim, v'salei divrei tzadikim.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'chayei Olam Natan B'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach, thank you so much. For our third aliyah, we invite forward Brad and Karen and Elijah Herman. Ya'amdu Isa Reuven ben Yitzchak v'Shena v'Tari Kerem bat Netzeh v'Sharon Beliahu ben Isar v'Tari.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof, leman tifyat, ve'arashta et haaretz. Asher Adonai Elohecha noten la.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you so much. You know, Nate, I've got a photo of you that I think Brad took from 10 years ago or so, where you and Elijah are sitting next to each other, closest of friends then, and how beautiful that the friendship has flourished to be together at this simcha. For our fourth aliyah, we now invite your parents, Paula and Matthew Josephson. Toby, why don't you join your parents as well? Ya'amdu Delilah Chava bat Yisrael ben Achama b'Metadyahu Aaron ben Baruch Berel v'Pamela.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Lo tita lecha asher la kol eitzel mizbah anai Elohecha asher ta'aseh.
Asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Josephsons, don't go too far away. Why don't you hang out by your son over here for his aliyah? Ya'amud, 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 Habachor Habar Mitzvah. Nachman, Ephraim, Ben, Metadyahu, V'Delilah. We now invite the bar mitzvah himself, Nathaniel Josephson, for his aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'lo Oh,
Sorry. There you go.
V'lo takim la matzeva asher sanei Adonai Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. All right, you guys can have a seat. We're going to ask the congregation to rise, all who are able, as we lift the Torah to show you what Nate just beautifully chanted from this exact section.
Vezot Torah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai beyad Moshe.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Please be seated, everyone.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai.
Yai lai 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 lai. Nate, I'm glad that I'm not your friend. Where's Nathan? Is he in the back somewhere? Nate, I'm glad I'm not you and I'm lifting the Torah up, because I think we'd be raising the roof a little too high. Nate, I'm going to ask you to stand over here in the shade for your Haftarah. I think it'll be a little bit easier for you over here. So Nate's going to continue with the section from the prophets. We call it the Haftarah Portion. And it comes from the book of Isaiah. He was a prophet who, in this particular case, this is known as the second Isaiah. He lived during the time of Babylonian exile. And his prophecy was one of comfort, saying, things will get better. We need to continue to embrace each other with peace and with goodness and find a way to recover from the pain that we're going through. I think that's a message that we all need, not only thousands of years ago, but that we can use today as well. So now bring your papers over here. He'll begin with the blessing beforehand and then go into the portion. But before he does the blessing after, we have a few instructions for people. So go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar b'nvi'im tovim, v'ratzah divrechem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habaher ba'torah, uv'meshe avdo, uv'Yisrael amo, unvivi'e ha'emet v'tzedek. Anohi, Anohi, hu mechem miat vatiri me'enosh yamut umibein adam hater yinotain vetishka Adonai oseha note shemayim ve'osed aretz vatsehad tamid kol hayom mipnei hamat hametzik ka'asher konen lahashit ve'ayeh hamat hametzik Mihard soa lipanetaya yamut velo lachashnat velo yakstar lochmo ve'anohi Adonai Elohecha roga hayam ve'yaemu golav Adonai tzavaot shemo ve'asim devarai befiha uvsel yadi kesitecha lintoach shemayim velo Soda, Aret, Vilemor, Viletzion, Ami, Atah, Baruch Atah Adonai.
Hold on 1 second, Nate. 1 second, that was amazing. Nate is about to offer the blessing afterward. You'll all notice that candy is being handed out. Once he is finished with this blessing, people will have the opportunity to carefully and gingerly and nicely toss the candy,
or as hard as
lovingly.
you can.
I'm going to be over that way. This is not, a softball pitch. This is a nice, easy lob. Now, once the candy is thrown, anyone who would like to, who's young at heart, can come and pick it up. And you may think that we're wearing masks only for physical reasons with the pandemic. We're also wearing masks to keep us from eating during the service, okay? So put the candy in your pocket, don't eat it now. All right, go for it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzor kol ha'olamim, tzadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer va'oseh, ha'medaber u'mekayem, shekol divrav, emet v'tzedek, al ha-Torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanvi'im ve'al hom yahashabat hazeh shena'ata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha ve'lim nucha lichavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modi moach umevarchim ota yibarak shimcha b'fi chol hai tamid le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mikadesh HaShabbat. Yay.
All right, let's clean up the candy, everyone. Let's clean it up.
These are all more. Oh. There's candy if you want. Yeah.
All right, we can clean most of this up later on.
I'm just gonna throw it at people. Toby, be careful.
Friends, we're all on such a spiritual high right now, but there's an opportunity to take that strength and to remember that there is a world that is in such need of healing right now. It's the world out there, it's the world in this space also. Matthew, I look at you and we remember where you were 1 year ago. And here you are now. Those prayers for healing and strength and wholeness are so very important. And it's a miracle. It really is a miracle that we can be here with you celebrating. So we want to continue those prayers of healing and of goodness. And we'll offer the Mishaberach. It's on page 253. It's right in the middle, 253. Perhaps there are people that you're thinking of who could use strength and goodness and healing at this time. And when we get to the center of the prayer, as my eyes meet yours, please share those names out loud. If you're at home via Zoom or on YouTube, share them in the chat box so we can all pray together.
Source of
turn now to page 256 as we prepare to place the Torah back in the ark, and we're going to invite Toby and Ali and Riley to join us once again to open the ark. And Nate, why don't you come forward as well? We invite the congregation to please rise once again. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom, it is a tree. It's not a bush. Shalom, shalom, shalom. It's Chaim Gile Makazikim Avetomecha Meusar. It's Chaim Gile Makazikim Avetomecha Meusar. Shalom, 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 shalom. Tree of life. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Please be seated, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. For everyone here, thank you for coming to my bar mitzvah. Although this may be 1 year later than originally planned, and not everyone can be here in person or in the sanctuary, I still feel the importance of becoming a bar mitzvah. Becoming a bar mitzvah means to me that I've overcome an obstacle in my life that I can grow from and take on new responsibilities from. For me, this is a physical milestone proving that I have matured and grown as a person, and especially as a Jew. Now I can take away from the cringy things I did in past years and focus on new and difficult tasks ahead of me. Right now, I might not be able to drive or drink alcohol yet, but I can say that I am now a Jewish adult. Without being Jewish, there are many amazing things I would never experience. For instance, the Jewish holidays and some of my closest friends that I've met at summer camp and temple. Although I personally do not believe in God, I believe in the teaching and morals of Judaism. One of these teachings that I've studied a lot for some weird reason is Shoftim, my Torah portion. Shoftim, which is in the 5th book of the Torah, Deuteronomy, talks about how Moses was teaching the children of Israel how to set up a fair and just system of judges because he could not go into Israel to help set it up by himself. One of the most famous lines in this portion is Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdov, which translates to justice, justice shall you pursue. Pursuing justice and having lawful judges play a big role in today's society. Without having a fair and just set of judges, many unfair and unjust laws are passed, as well as court cases being treated unfairly just because of race, sexuality, gender, or religious beliefs. If we are actively pursuing justice, we can help support people or groups who are being treated unfairly. One way to help people going through this strife is by tzedakah, which is a form of charitable acts. The Jewish law and philosopher Maimonides created a ladder of tzedakah, which shows the different stages of tzedakah and how righteous each form is. In the 8 stages in this ladder, the best form of charitable acts is helping someone financially for a long period of time. This would include becoming business partners with them, and it would only work if there was no real upside for yourself except having the feeling of being a good person. For instance, teaching someone how to fish instead of giving them a fish. The second ladder of tzedakah is anonymously giving to the poor. This way, the person giving the tzedakah does not receive the social praise for donating as well as the person who received this tzedakah wouldn't try to return the favor if they couldn't afford to do so. Thirdly is when the donor knows who the recipient is, but the recipient does not know who it is from. This way, the recipient doesn't feel in debt to the donor because they don't know their identity. The fourth stage is vice versa, where the recipient knows who gave them tzedakah, but not the donor themselves. The recipient might feel in debt to the donor, while the donor themselves were just trying to help out and might feel uncomfortable. The fifth form of tzedakah is when both parties know each other, but the gift was before the receiving party asked for it. The sixth, seventh, and eighth forms of tzedakah are all still charitable acts, but are not as smiled upon as the previous form of tzedakah. The sixth form of tzedakah is when receiving and has to ask or beg for the tzedakah. Seventh is when the tzedakah is giving unwillingly. And lastly, the eighth form of tzedakah is when the tzedakah has to be given grudgingly and forced. All forms of tzedakah are actively pursuing justice, but more kindness can never hurt. Over the past year and 1 month exactly, my family has received tzedakah by many people due to my dad's stroke. Thank you to everyone that helped out. You really made it possible for me to be here today. Thank you to Cantor Lonnie and Rabbi Shapiro for teaching me all the prayers and my Torah portions. I wouldn't be able to read what I just did. Thank you to the sisterhood who gave me the Kiddush cup. And thank you to the men's group for the Tanakh. Those will help me throughout my life and many years to come. Thanks to Bubby and Grams for the Talit bag and for the Tuesday and Friday night dinners. Thanks to Emma and Appa for the Talit, even though we picked it out like a year or two ago. It's so fun. Next, I would like to thank my mom for always being there with me and always helping me with all the stuff that I need to get done. And my dad, who, even though he still has some struggles due to his stroke, as he always tries to help me be better, whether it's in academics or sports or just teaching me new things, even though he might not remember everything about it. I'd also like to thank my little brother Toby for trying out new games that I suggest and sports that we could play together. Lastly, I would like to thank everyone who came here in person and who could be here on Zoom. And it's really, really been a special day, even though not a lot of you hit me with your candy, which you guys should practice your baseball skills. So, but thank you all.
Toby, come on up.
It's in here. There you go.
To Nate, I love you very much. I'm proud of you for having your bar mitzvah. I like playing games with you, like soccer and volleyball. Congratulations for doing such a good job today, from Toby.
Okay.
Toby, come give your brother a hug, Toby. Paula, Matthew?
Oh, you're coming with me? Fine, you can come with me.
Okay. But I'm going first. I'm not following you. Okay. Okay, come stand over here. Okay. A poem for Nate's bar mitzvah. Nathaniel, Nate, Nadio, Noodle, Nene, NJ. You came into this world with a stubborn streak. holding your breath, yet taking our breath away. You've been a fighter since the start. We gave you the name Nathaniel, given by God. You've been a gift from the start. Our fiery redhead with a zeal for life, a Lego enthusiast, a son, a friend, a brother. You've grown into a scholar, an athlete, a gamer, a creator. Riding life's roller coaster from the start, you have learned how to rise, crash, pick yourself up, lean on friends, draw strength from your community. Our red-crested cuckoo with a love for the natural world, a bundle of energy from the start, eager to explore the world with a contagious sense of awe, not afraid to run down the street or try new things, discovering the miracle in the simple pleasures of birds soaring up above, a dog's wet nose, mental gymnastics with numbers, the pages of a book. You once wrote a poem about how you were a phoenix, rising from the ashes, who loved to read. You are my phoenix. You live life all in, fearless, passionate, brave, in goal, soaring across canyons, diving head in, life lived ablaze. And when life has tested you, bringing us all to our knees, you stumbled, but you have regrown from the ashes, stronger, braver, taller, and a bit more hairy, blazing your path through time and space. Let the world know your name, know your charms, know your grace. On this holy day, in this holy space, remember you are loved, cherished, admired. You are brave, strong, funny, ambitious. Hold on to your zeal for life, your competitiveness, your compassion, your sense of fairness. Remember the day you were surrounded with love and light, hope and neshama. Look out and see your family, your friends, your community, smiling under their masks and glowing from the greatness that is you. Nate, Nathaniel, Noodle, Nene, NJ, New, brother, son, friend. And as we celebrate your journey into manhood, even if delayed by the chaos of circumstance, remember that life throws you hurdles so you can jump over them or burn them down. For you are a phoenix, ablaze with promise for the future, and armed with the power to survive and rise up again and again. I love you.
Me too.
And now y'all can really get your tissues ready.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us and or Zooming with us for Nate's bar mitzvah. It's kind of exciting to have a bar mitzvah in the semi-post-COVID world. Whether you are visiting from down the street or out of state, thank you. From a young age, Nate has always had his own way of doing things. Even though his red hair may not be the most obvious skill he got from his father, his stubbornness was not in question. But he's also intelligent, funny, thoughtful, and an excellent athlete. However, Nate has best shown off his talents in his enjoyment of birds. When he was about 9, Nate made a short clip with like 50 penguin toys and about how they were going to save the world from global warming. Like a lot of people, Nate had a challenging time last year with distance learning and all the changes occurring due to COVID. However, he was able to overcome these challenges while transitioning to a young adult. As a great big brother, though he occasionally tells Toby he's in charge, he is truly becoming into a young mensch. My goal for Nate is that he should always remain thoughtful and joyous while also staying just a little bit stubborn, but not too stubborn, because that gives you perseverance. But if there's one piece of advice I would give you, is to always be proud. Your Appa always told me daily to be proud. I always thought it was my father being embarrassing, but the reality is you should be proud of yourself, because you will always know that I am proud of you.
Thank you, Dad. I love you. I love you too.
That's why I went first.
You're okay there. I'll take the hot seat over here. This is a day that God has created. It's time to rejoice. Nate, I think I've experienced more life cycles and life moments with your dynasty than any other family at Temple Akiba. There have been hospital visits, many hospital visits. There have been funerals, unfortunately more than one. There have been weddings of uncles and aunts and siblings of uncles and aunts and beyond. There have been many, but yours is the first bar mitzvah. And that's awesome. How exciting to be here. Your family, all of them, have served in so many capacities for Temple Akiba, and I am grateful. I am really grateful to the treasures, the real treasures that you've given to Cantor and to me and to all of us. When you shared with me that you are interested in the study of birds, and you even gave me the scientific name, which I forget. What is it again?
Ornithologist.
Thank you, ornithology. When you shared with me, it made so much sense, because in your Torah portion, which you so beautifully spoke about with regard to justice, there is a midrash, a story upon the story that I think is important, particularly to you. You see, this Torah portion that you're in is at the end of the book of Deuteronomy, and this is Moses' last advice to the children of Israel, and he knows that he's about to die before they enter Israel. And he goes to God, according to the Midrash, and he says, God, I really, really want to go and see the land. Will you let me go into Israel? And God said to Moses, no, Moses, your job is done. You've got to stay here. And then Moses does something awesome. Moses says to God, God, will you turn me into a bird so that I can fly over the land and see it? Moses is the only character in Torah that ever wants to become a bird. My gosh, your mother's poem about the phoenix, wow, just wow. You and Moses share something very similar, this love of these birds. And God listened to Moses. And God looked at Moses' soul and God said, Moses, I can't do that because you are you. You can't become something else. You can strive, you can make yourself better, but you can't become something that you just aren't. And Moses was sad, but he heard. What does this mean for you, Nate? Yes, strive. Always go further than you think you can go. But most important, nurture who you are. Because that voice of Nate, that soul of Nate, that spirit of Nate is so sacred and so beautiful that we don't want you to be anything but Nate. And so, on this day of your bar mitzvah, soar like the bird, but be grounded like Nate. And in that way, you are going to move mountains and you are going to connect heaven and earth. We are so proud of you. Mazel tov.
Thank you so much.
I think Cantor has some words.
Nate, wow. How amazing is this day? I feel so fortunate to be here today, to stand here to witness you becoming a Jewish adult, to witness all of the challenges of this year being washed away and seeing you thrive and do such an extraordinary job here on this bima. You truly were like our people of Israel wandering through the desert, like in your Torah portion, having challenge after challenge, but coming out into the promised land. And this is your promised land today, that you have made it through these challenges. You have made it through the difficulties of the past year. And here you are standing, not just doing an okay job, but doing such an incredible job. We are so proud of you and everything that you have accomplished. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
We're going to ask for your parents and your brother to come forward, and we're going to offer a very special blessing. If you'll take his talit and hold it over his head.
I know he's taller than me. It's not fair.
This blessing comes from everyone who's here. It's like we're giving you a big group hug. Can you hold it a little more taut? There we go. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisod Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God's light always shine through you, Nate, and give you the most precious gift, the gift of shalom, of peace. Amen. Family group hug.
In the tree.
All right, everyone sit down except for you, okay? It's now our honor to invite forward, representing our congregation, Scott Markowitz. Scott is our director, our board director of our youth, of our religious school programs. Scott, Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov. Here you go. Why don't you stand at that podium?
I'll stand over there. Great. Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos.
Mazel Tov. You did great. Mazel Tov to the family. What a beautiful day outside, sharing this moment together. Not only am I a member of the Temple Akiva board, and on behalf of the board, I want to welcome all of you to our outdoor space. It's an honor to have you all here today after the year that we've all had. Like I said before, not only am I a member of the board, but I call myself, lucky enough to call myself friends of the family. So my wife told me it's hot, I have to be fast. So I have a few official things. Yeah, I see you smiling under your masks. I have a few official items to give for Nate. Here is your official certificate, which shows it's signed by the cantor and the rabbi and our temple president, Kathy Penso, to show that on this day, Nathaniel James Josephson was called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. He has accepted the privileges and responsibility of being a Jew, lifelong Torah study, and keeping of mitzvot, Shabbat, holy day, and life cycles. Yada, 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 yada. Mazel tov to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I got a few more things here. There's also a tree that has been planted in Israel in honor of your bar mitzvah on this day, also from the temple. And this is for you as well. And once again, thank you all. It's a huge honor to be part of this special day. It may have been a year later than you anticipated, but it was as beautiful and special. And we do have a jersey for you in 4 years. I am also the captain of the softball team, so we do have a jersey for you. You can't play first. That's your father's job. Okay. Mazel tov again.
Thank you. Oh.
We've got another tradition at Temple Akiba, and this is the signing of our Lador Vardor scroll. We have commissioned artwork by the artist Mordechai Rosenstein, and this is our temple logo, or excuse me, our temple symbol. It says, Orenu me'yer tov yoter yachad. It means our light shines brighter together. And it's got beautiful calligraphy on the outside, but it's blank in the middle, except for the names of each and every person that becomes a bar bat mitzvah here at Temple Akiba. And so, Nate, you're going to have a chance to sign this in a moment, but I understand that there may be an uncle, Jonathan, where are you? There you are, who has not yet signed this, who became a bar mitzvah here. Is there anyone else who became a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah at Temple Akiba who has not had a chance to sign this from the family? John, Jesse, why don't you come on forward? Let me use this pen. Who else do we have? Oh, right. Good. All right, so we're going to go in order here. So Jonathan, come on forth, and then Danny will go next. Yeah. And do you remember your date? Whoa, awesome. Pam, what was his date? Oh. Oh. Okay. Mazel tov, awesome. Danny, it's good to see you. Do you remember your date?
I don't know about that one.
All right. You can put the year, that's fine.
What the year?
Oh, you're a lefty. All right.
Remember the year?
How old are you now?
27.
So 27, so 14 years ago.
Keep going. Yeah, I was older though. I was like 15, so
2007, that sounds good. Oh, 07. Good, Danny, it's good to see you. Mazel tov. All right, Nate. And August 14. Awesome. Everyone say Mazel tov to all three.
Yay.
So as we prepare for our concluding prayers, we're going to place this document back in the ark. We invite everyone to please rise once again. We're on page 282.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latek gdula leoser breshit, shelo asanu kugei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. We're going to remain standing, everyone. As we prepare for the Mourner's Kaddish, we have this opportunity and responsibility to remember those loved ones of this family, including Barry Josephson, Ann Smiler, Thelma Lander, Norman Lander, Lori Schulman, Jack Schulman, Joseph Josephson, Edna Josephson, Nadine Testa, and Gabriel Testa. May their memories guide us all with love and smiles and goodness. I think all of us can feel their presence right here, shining upon us. The words for Kaddish Yatom are on page 294. And we say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah v'yalmad divrach rotei v'yamlich malchotei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael v'galau v'yizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam u'amei omaya Yiparach v'yishabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh Yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal Yikudusha b'rechu Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata Tushbechata v'nechamata Damiran b'alma v'imru amen Yeishlama rabba min shemaya V'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen Oseh shalom b'mromav Hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Amen. I think all of us are going to be on a spiritual high for a long time, Nate. You rocked today. What an incredible moment this is for all of us. Cantor, how are we closing today? We are closing with the singing of Oseh Shalom. So we're going to ask for you to remain standing, but put your prayer books on your seats. So we need to get your hands ready to do a lot of hand clapping.
And Toby, Matthew, Paula, come join your son in the sun. Oseh Shalom b'mroma, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mroma, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mroma, Hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh Shalom.
shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
So as one final blessing, hold on everyone. Sorry, my fault. One more. There we go. Okay. Everyone on the way out, every family will have the opportunity to get a little challah. They're on the side over here. And so we're going to close our service with a motzi. I will give this over to you. Don't eat it yet. And Cantor will lead us.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread
and water.
Our voices joining happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone, and Mazel Tov tonight.
Mazel Tov.
I get the most. Yeah, Daddy wins. I win. Thank you.
If you go that, the camera's back there.
You will see me in the Christmas party. Right?
Thank you.